All right. Welcome to Mastery CFO's Punchy podcast, short, impactful podcasts where we interview business people from all walks of life and ask them about their business. Today, I've got with me Dave Bunce. Dave is the Director of Partnerships at interVal, which is a software company. Dave, tell us about who you are and what you do. Tell us about interVal. Tell us about your business.
For sure. And thanks for having me, Ryan, today. Excited to chat. So my background is in public accounting, CPA by trade, but what I do with interVal is help professional advisors and business owners talk about the financial health of the businesses. And that's centered around business valuation, wealth creation, and financial health of the balance sheet and income statement. And we do that through surfacing automated insights about the client's financial information.
Okay. And so, Dave, how did you get into this? Tell us about your background a little bit and how you got involved with interVal.
For sure. So I spent 7 years in public accounting, after which I went into running a marketing agency, which has a purpose in this story. But I took a little tangent away from public accounting. And in that, I learned a lot about customer service. I learned a lot about how to use technology to grow a professional service firm. So we went through a very fast growth rate. We went from 20 people to 90 people. We sold the agency in the span of 5 years, got to $10 million in revenue. And we scaled because of technology. And so why I'm at interVal and why I'm pretty committed to the cause here is it's combining my accounting background with the idea of bringing technology to professional advisors to help them grow their practice and help their clients succeed at the same time too. When you have professional service firms that are able to help their clients grow, they grow in turn, and there's this nice symbiotic relationship. So that's really what how I got into it and why I'm here is I believe interVal helps business owners grow their businesses by measuring valuation and financial health, and that in turn helps advisors grow their practices.
Okay. And with interVal, I mean, it being software, it facilitates the whole understanding and processing with respect to business valuations. Tell us a little bit about the software itself and how it works and how it can help anybody in business.
For sure. So I think one of the important things that often gets overlooked in the day-to-day is wealth creation through enterprise value, right? Often the business is a business owner's best asset. But unless they're willing to pay, tens of thousands of dollars for a formal valuation, they don't really look at that. And I think it's important for advisors to have the tools to measure valuation on an ongoing or periodic basis, because what gets measured gets done. And so for us, we view it as a way for the advisor to guide a business owner on wealth creation. And I think that's something that often gets overlooked. And that's really where we like to play.
Okay. And as you look forward over the span of, say, the next 12 to 24 months, how do you see the adaptation of this software and what are your expectations with respect to your growth in the market and some of your plans at interVal?
Yeah, great question. So I think to level set, a couple of macroeconomic factors here are kind of colliding. One is obviously the great sort of wealth transfer, if you will. There's a lot of business owners that are getting ready for retirement age and looking for succession planning, whether that be within their own family or acquisition. And so having these conversations now become really important before it's kind of too late and before somebody's looking to sell. We need to help them prepare for that. What makes a business saleable? Is the valuation what they're looking for or not? What could they do today to help set them up for success tomorrow? And that's really what the focus of our software is. So things that are on the roadmap for us is looking at using more artificial intelligence in our platform to look at the likelihood or predict the outcome of valuation over an extended period of time. So doing more of like a pro forma set of statements and coming up with, based on, we've got thousands of businesses in our platform. We can use that data to help inform the likelihood of somebody achieving their valuation goal into the future. And so we're going to start adding to that because, as I said, I think the goal is for business owners not to be surprised when it's time to sell. We want them to be measuring and proactively evolving their valuation. So in order to do that, we think it's important for them to see that projection, that pro forma to say, this is where you are today based on trends, based on your own historical information, based on what we see across thousands of businesses, we think you are likely or maybe not likely to hit the goals that you've set for your business.
We're finding we use interVal ourselves at Mastery Fractional CFO Services. We really enjoy what it's bringing to the table for us and for our clients. It gives our clients a different way of looking at what their overall vision of success is. They might look at it in terms of their profit and loss or their cash flow, some of their personal goals. They might look at it in terms of that. But this gives them one more data point, one more thing to look at, to understand what they need to do to maximize or optimize the position of their business and what it can do for them and for their families and for their communities and for their clients and their suppliers and so on. So business valuation is something that everyone's got in their mind to some degree. This tool has really helped us at Mastery dial that in and help our clients understand where they're at, where they want to go, and what they might need to do to get there with respect to business valuation, which is different from profit, which is different from cash flow. It's a combination of factors. So it's been very interesting getting involved with yourself and the folks at interVal. So we appreciate you for sure. Now, Dave, one of the things I generally do at this point in the conversation is I give you the chance to ask a fractional CFO any question related to the success of your business or business in general or anything you're curious about. So go ahead, ask me any question you want to ask.
I love this. Ask me anything. Dangerous, Ryan. Dangerous. No, but I think we'll be good here. So I'm curious to know, you see a number of clients of yours come to you at different stages in their sort of evolution, but what's kind of the most common barrier you see to growth for a business, whether that be, quantitative, something on the financials, or maybe a qualitative factor, but what are the things you see that often hold businesses back from kind of their full potential?
Yeah, it's a good question. And, to be 100% transparent here, it depends on the business. It depends on the client, what stage they're at, what position they're at with us, how long they've been doing business with us. But I would say that probably the common denominator for all businesses at all stages is that whatever got you to where you're at right now isn't going to be what it takes to get to the next level. So, if you're a $5 million business with X number of employees and you got here it wasn't easy, but you got to be at $5 million in annual revenue, you're profitable. That's never enough, right? We tend to climb the mountain that's in front of us and we get to the top and then we see another mountain that's even higher and we want to get to that next level. Growing businesses, to grow, they need to be understanding that it is going to be different strategies that you implement. It's going to be different things that you need to learn. You might have to leverage other team members. You might have to leverage technology like what interVal brings to the table. But whatever you've done to be successful, congratulations. It's fantastic. If you're at that point where you're over $1 million in annual revenue, you've done a lot of things right. But you're going to have to grow. You're going to have to learn new things, and you're going to have to be open to potential new technology, to bringing on other team members, to leveraging your time and leveraging your expertise. And so I think that's the biggest barrier to growth. And a lot of people, once they're at that level in business where they're working with a fractional CFO like ourselves, they're not at the point where they need a full-time on-staff CFO. So they're not, say, $40 million in annual revenue or $50 million in annual revenue, but they've done well, and they do need to start to figure out what to do. And sometimes they know that. Like, they often come to us and say, "Hey, listen, we know we're not great at the financial component of the business, or we need to find new ways to sell, or we need to evaluate our business in a different way than we've been evaluating it before. We need to dial that in." And so that's just knowing that that's the case and being open to learning. I think that's the key to getting past that point that you're at where you're somewhat stuck. And so this is one of those questions that I could take a whole lot of time answering, but it wouldn't be as punchy a podcast if I did. But does that answer it so far, Dave? Is there any clarification I can provide?
No, I think that's really helpful. It's a good takeaway, right? It's change management, right? And it's making sure that people are prepared for growth, which takes a different type of mindset for sure, right?
Yeah. It involves evolution, right? And being open and change. It's a good way to put it. So, all right. Well, that's almost everything for today. I guess the next question I got for you, Dave, is if somebody wants to do business with interVal, or if they want to connect with you or both, what do you suggest that they do next? What would be the first step for them?
Yeah, they can check out our website, which is interval-val.ai, so interval with a dash there, .ai. Or you can find me on LinkedIn, Dave Bunce. You'll find me there, and we can trade some messages there.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's everything for today. Dave, thanks for being a guest on our podcast. I appreciate it. And we appreciate interVal, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. And
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
I'll put your contact information in our podcast notes.
Perfect.
Okay. Bye for now.